Let me just yeah, and we're live streaming this on YouTube as well, just so you guys are aware. But we're not going to
Perfect.
be answering questions from the YouTube chat. Um, let's make sure we can get Mark
There it
as
is. I
okay. You got
I
permission?
believe I'm sharing. Can you check?
I'm still sharing right now. Maybe I can stop sharing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see your screen now.
Yes.
Yeah, all good
Perfect.
to go. Right on.
Alrighty. So hello everybody. I'm getting started then. Today, that's exactly what we're gonna talk about, like unleashing your 2D skills, 2D animation skills, and scaling with Affinity Designer or Affinity Photo and Cartoon Animator. Now, I'm doing something a little bit different this time because I'm also providing the link to this spreadsheet right here on the chat. And if the Revolution team can take note of that link and also provide it on YouTube so people who are watching this replay can also check it out. So you can download the project files. That was something that we're going to be using. And it was an animation from one of my students, Eric Downs. So let's get started. Today, this is what we're gonna check. This is the introduction already done by the amazing Kai. And then we're gonna do a quick overview of Affinity Photo. That's the one that I'm most familiar with. And then a demonstration of drawing and structuring characters or props. And I'm also going to show you how you can reverse engineer any character that you like. So if you buy something on the marketplace and you really like it, then one thing you can do is reverse engineer it so later you can create something similar. And if you get any of the characters from Gary Pye, you will know why he's a freaking genius. Like his characters are like, what the heck is going on in here? But I'm gonna show you uh, how to understand the way those characters are structured, right? Then we're gonna talk about bringing affinity files into Cartoon Animator 5, set up the bones and timeline, and then we're gonna have a giveaway event. So, and after the giveaway event, one of the things that I need to do is I need to set up, I need to have people who are currently active in this call to enroll. Like I give you an instruction on the chat, and if you want to enroll, yeah, you enroll on the Q&A event. And then like we start a little bit of Q&A, and once I'm ready, we do the giveaway. All right. So these are the giveaways. In total, we're gonna be giving more than $1,000 in prizes today. We're gonna give actually I forgot to do that correction. It, they're gonna give affinity, but the universal one. Let me just show you what we're talking about here, and it's going to be this one, the Affinity Universal License, which gives you the all three of them: Affinity Designer, Affinity Photo, and Publisher. Basically, for those of you who are um, familiar with Photoshop or Adobe products, this is like Adobe Illustrator, this is like Adobe Photoshop, and this is like Affinity Designer. I mean, like Adobe InDesign, right? So yeah, this is, I can post this link here so you can have your water mouth like, ooh, I could win one of these, right? Let me see. I need to check something really quick. But yes, like that's one of the giveaways. And I need to go back to my presentation, and it's right here. Alrighty. Then we are going to give away Cartoon Animator. So for those of you who don't have it, so can you quickly tell me if you have a Cartoon Animator? Like I have it, or type in the chat, I don't have it. Right? I have it, I have it. Okay, a lot of you already have it. That's pretty cool. Not yet. Alrighty, Ramon, you don't have it, or Ramon. And then I have it, but I need it for Mac. Okay, I imagine you have Cartoon Animator 4. And then I only have Cartoon Animator 4. That's fine. The free trial. By the way, this new update of more compatibility between Affinity is only on Cartoon Animator 5. There are ways in which you can make it work for Mac, for Cartoon Animator 4. and then make us win something we don't have. Don't worry, Ali. And then the free trial, not yet, not yet. Thank you, thank you. Awesome. Now let's continue. We're also going to give away a webcam profile for those of you who have Cartoon Animator already and want to automate using your webcam and control your character with your face. Basically, it's pretty cool. Saves you a lot of time. And then for those of you familiar with my courses, with my training is really expensive. I invested like years on them, and they are like whew, a lot of material in there. And this is really, really expensive. But we're gonna give away. I'm gonna give it away for free for a lucky one of you. And then to the animation, we're gonna give also the speed rigging, which is similar, but it's like more condensed. It doesn't teach like the full mastery of it, but it teaches you how to do riggings really fast. And then for those of you who want to learn animation in general, I give away also the 6-in-1 bundle. All right. So yeah, would love these would love the training courses. Uh, awesome, awesome. So who's excited about getting some of these prizes? I saw that. Hey, give us something we don't have. All right, me, yeah. All right, Pauline, Eric, and then Alexander. Cool, me, awesome. Thank you, Peggy. Peggy Vender, how are you, man? How are you? How are you? Amazing. I'm so excited. Let's dive in. All righty, yes. Let's dive in, Ali. So first, I want to ask all of you in general, what is your experience with rigging the PSD template or the SVG template, an original character? Type 1 to 10, like 1 or 10 or 0, that's also allowed. And okay, I'm looking at the chat. 1, 3, 1, 1, 0, 3, 4, 3, 5, 1. Okay, oh my goodness, a lot of beginners. I see Panache, you are intermediate. Helena, you're a 6. Okay, that's intermediate too. Oh, 8. I'm seeing by Ed and Monirul. And then Daniel Herrera, 5, 3. Most of you are below 5, right? That's what I see. My around 5 point. Alexander, super specific. 1267.53. Then a 2. Okay, so most of you don't have much experience with rigging this template. Alrighty, that's good to know. That's good to know. That way I can I can go very slowly on this. All right, when I cover this, because these can get messy. All right, so let's continue here. And for those of you who have a little bit of experience, I mean, like those of you who typed a 2, I mean, 4 or above, what PSD editors do you know how to use? Not necessarily that you use them all the time, but you could use them, right? For me, I can tell you, I'm gonna type mine, Photoshop, and then and Clip Studio and Photo P. And lately, I learned to use Affinity Photo. Okay, I see. Okay, Clip Studio, alrighty. Krita, I imagine. Oh, Clip Studio probably. And then Affinity Photo, awesome. And then Photoshop, the first 3. So Designer, Photo, and Photoshop. And then Clip Studio Paint. Then Krita, awesome. Pauline, ooh, nice. You know how to use Affinity Designer, Affinity Photo, and Krita, nice. And Photo 3, Photoshop, awesome. Photoshop. Most of you are using Photoshop, awesome. And then Clip Studio. Some of you like basic Microsoft Paint, I see from Alexander. I mean, that one cannot do PSD documents. It's only for drawing. Do you recommend Affinity more than Photoshop for Cartoon Animator? Okay, Ramon, that's a really good question. That's exactly what I'm going to be talking about. I personally use Photoshop, but there's a catch in here. Photoshop requires you to be doing a monthly payment. Now, to answer that question, for me, it makes sense because I pay for the whole Creative Suite, like the Creative Cloud, $50. No, it was now it's more expensive. I think it's $60 a month, right? But for me, it makes sense because my business pays for it. That's a business expense for me. Like I make money from designing stuff in Photoshop, editing videos in Premiere Pro, etc., etc. So for me, I make money using this. But if you're not making money, well, if you can afford it, go ahead, do whatever you want with your money. But there's a big option in here for those of you doing animation as a hobby. And the strong recommendation is Affinity Photo if you're not making any money out of it, right? Because Affinity Photo, let me just go to here, is you first you can have the universal license and it's one time payment. You pay it once and you have it for life, right? So that is what it like. So to answer your question, Ramon, if I was not making money, it wouldn't make sense for me to pay every month six. Are you kidding me? Like, I was paying $50 a month, and I'm not making money. Are you kidding me? It's like $600 a year that I could be spending on something else. I would prefer, if that was the case, I would prefer this. I have all the suite, and I don't have to keep paying. And if I don't want all of them, I would honestly, I would only use Affinity Photo, $70, right? So that's why I would prefer this. I prefer Photoshop because it's what I've been used for more than 20 years. Yeah, David. By the way, David, if you're not making any money out of it, I strongly recommend you at least get a trial of Affinity Photo because it's very similar to Photoshop. Like when I got this, hey Mark, we're gonna do a webinar of Affinity. I was like, okay, let me sit down. And I planned like maybe 3 days. Nope, in the first hour I was up and running because it's very similar to Photoshop. You're gonna see for yourself, right? So that's a big thing. So the first thing is for those of you who want to give it a try with Affinity Photo, that you can get a free trial, or Affinity Designer, you can get it, but then on Cartoon Animator, you have to set it up as your default editor. So that is done like first, this is very important. When you get it, either as a trial or when you buy it, you need to go to your desktop downloads and then make sure that you download the file that says exe, an executive file, because that is a software. If you download this one, it will install it, but it's an app. It's a Windows app, and we don't want that. I don't know exactly how it works on Mac, but I believe in Mac is just an app in general, and there's no problems. But in Windows, there's this difference. All right, so make sure you download and install the executive file. All right, and then the way you do it, you go to Cartoon Animator, click Edit, then Preferences, and then in Preferences, just click Selected Image, and then from there, click on Image Editor, right here. And then from there, you can see that in this example, I have Photoshop, but I can change it uh, actually, let me show you here. I click here, and then Preferences, and then Image. In here, I already changed it. There it is, like for Affinity Photo. So what I did was click on this little folder and then just go to Program Files, Affinity, and then Photo 2, and then just select photo.exe, right? That's it. And we are set. Now, if I want to create something, a PSD element, I can click on PSD, and you can see that now instead of the Photoshop, I have Affinity Photo there, right? Those who aren't using Affinity, when you try it, you won't regret it. Awesome. Okay, Ali, I'm just, is it Ali or Ali? I think it's Ali, Ali Mohammed. Ali, did you use previously Photoshop and then you jumped into Affinity? I'm just interested. You can answer me on the chat. You're there. Any other Mac users here? Also, Rick is asking for who else is using Mac. Alrighty. So I'm gonna continue. So I need to go here, and then once the Affinity Photo is set, now I need to do the uh, Ali. Okay, Ali without stressing the last letter. Awesome, Ali. Okay, so this one Affinity. the next thing that we need to do is once we have this on Cartoon Animator, we need to set up Affinity. And that is done, actually, you have the instructions here. Again, this is the first time I do it like this. Like, this is the presentation for those of you who want to save it. You can click that link and then you will have access. But in here, this is how we do it. We go to edit menu and then settings. And then in settings, right there in general, you click on enable save over imported PSD files. That is a must, because if you do any adjustments to the PSD file and you save it and this is not on, it's is not going to say, it will save it as an affinity file and not as a PSD that is connected uh, with the cartoon animator, right? So that is very important. I'm going to open Affinity Photo and I'm gonna make sure that I have that on. Alrighty? Okay, cool. Thanks for the tip. Yay! That's something that we need. I got Affinity during the Adobe first fire sale for 50. All right. Awesome. Okay, so in here, before I start there, is edit settings. And then in general, there it is. Do you see? I have it activated. I can zoom in here. Enable. All right. So now that I have everything set, now we can get started. So this is how I open CTA Cartoon Animator elements in Affinity. So we're gonna open a prop in Affinity just so I can show you how you can reverse and engineer any file or anything that you buy on the marketplace, and then you go, oh my god, this is so cool. I wish I could do a little bit of adjustments myself, or like if you're a perfectionist like me, like just a little bit of red, or I want the same thing but this other color or whatever it is. Or a prop, like an animated prop you liked, and you're like, oh, I really like it. I'm gonna show you how you can see the structure inside Affinity, right? So later you can create your own or use that as a template for both a prop, animated prop, and a character. So let's jump right in. First, I'm gonna go to Cartoon Animator, then I go to Content, and then I'm going to open a prop. So let's go to Props, and then let me open this, Props, and let me open it. And I'm going to get one of the animated props because those are much more interesting, right? And let's say, for example, this one can have an action. So I click and drag, and this one has multiple elements. So if I right click and then action menu, I can see that a border start. Okay. And then in here, I can board action. Did you see that? That's pretty cool. So look at that. Is action. And then once the action is done, I can click action and then board end. And then it disappears. So let me play it from the beginning. Is now all the animation was done in Cartoon Animator. If you're interested, you can ask this in the Q&A, like, teach me how to animate props, and I can do a quick 5-minute tutorial in at the end on the Q&A, only if you're interested. I want to see the demand for for this knowledge. If not, don't ask anything. But the thing that I want to cover today is, yeah, but how did they animate like how did they have this? I'm imagining it's two elements. So I select the prop and then click here, created the animated props. Okay, Heather, in Zoom, you can have the chat, but then there's another button that says Q&A. Click there and drop that question. Just copy and paste. Would love to see more on creating animations. So there's these two elements. Do you see here in the layers? There's two layers and a dummy. Okay, what the heck? Like, how do I prepare all of that in Affinity? So now I'm going to launch PSD right here. Launch the PSD. And usually it launches for me on Photoshop, but today we connected. Ooh, look at that. Ooh la la. Now it's inside Affinity. So you know what? I'm gonna do this. Let me just reduce the resolution on this just to make sure the screen is not like super duper big. Instead of 2K, let's do full HD. Alrighty. And it's about to do it. There it is. So hopefully this will be a little bit bigger, and also I can do even a closer look. So if you look at this, right? I also want to learn anything you can show us. All right, Kathy. I mean, like assist all the webinars. We teach a lot of cool stuff, and Kai also covers a lot of really exciting stuff. So you can see that I have one folder or one group that says RL image and then RL pivot, right? And then if I open it, there's like a dummy. What the heck? A dummy board? What the heck is all of that? Alrighty. That is giving me ideas for the structure of this. And this is interesting. This, let me just remove this. This, I'm going to type V. That is in here, right? That's because when I rotate that element, this, by the way, let me give you an overview of, I'm going to stop right here and pause. I'm going to give you a quick overview of Mr. Affinity, right? Because a lot of the things that you do in here are really, really easy to follow. So let me just go to here. This is the overview. First is when you're creating a new document, let me go to Affinity, you can create portrait or landscape, and then you can set the proper dimensions for your animation. So let me go to File and then New, and then in here, you can select the type of thing that you want to do. If it's an animation for YouTube, which is the most common, is web, right? And then from web, I like full HD, which is 1080. Okay. Now, sometimes the first time I saw this, it was on vertical mode, and I was like, wait, how do how do I switch this? And then I found this very handy button. Oh, let me this too. Right there, you can change the orientation. It can be vertical. That's for a vertical short, or I can make it horizontal. That's the one that I use the most of the time. But sometimes I have seen students creating content for YouTube on vertical shorts, or for TikTok or Instagram Reels, right? So that is really really cool. And then you can also set this specifically, like manually in here, and then select the DPI, and then like the document unit, you can use pixels. If you're going to print it, you can change it to centimeters or inches, etc., etc. And then you just click create. All right, I'm gonna cancel that. And the next thing is, how do you do the space, the navigation, right? So this was very important because when I'm here, I can press space and then click and drag, just like in Photoshop. Anyone in Photoshop is like, oh yeah, it's the same thing. Now in Photoshop, you do zoom in with Control Space, click and drag. In here, it's different. In here, you press Z and then you click and drag, and then you release the Z. So you have to hold. I mean, that's one way. Like, press and hold the Z, and then you click and drag, and then release the Z, and you're back to any tool that you were using. And then space, click and drag, and you move along. All right. So I'm going slowly right now because a lot of you had a score from 1 to 10 below 5. And tonight, I want you to at least be more uh, confident to get you a +1 or +2, or hey, maybe a +3, right? Like if you were a 1, I want you to be confident, like, you know what? I probably can be now up at a 3 from 1 to 10, right? Okay. So that is how this is working. So let me just show you how this works inside the groups on the layers. So we have the image. And then if I open it, I can see that, whoa, wait. I have one group, another group, and a dummy. So now I'm going to open this one and see what's inside. Aha. This one, I want you to pay a lot of attention to this. That means this is a layer, a pixel layer. When it has a little arrow, that's in Photoshop is when it's a folder. But in here, it's a group. So if I hover the mouse, you can see it says group. And then in here, it says group. And then finally, that's a layer. All right. Now, here's what I do. Instead of me creating everything from scratch, like what were the folders, and then I don't like to work that much. So I like to save as much time as possible. And if I wanted to create something like maybe instead of this, I can create a Pac-Man, right? And by the way, I can also do a tutorial if any of you it's interested. Like, yeah, how can you turn this into a Pac-Man, etc., etc. But yeah, all of that is very simple. All I would do is change this for the top of the mouth of Pac-Man. And the other folder, I'm going to open board and then open the group. And then, oh, look at that. So I have a group. This one is inside a group and this one is inside another group. So this is the layer of the images. If I do any artwork, right? I would do it there. So let me create a new document, for example. Yeah, full HD. Now, let me show you one thing that I believe is pretty cool in Affinity that it doesn't have, that Photoshop doesn't have, is right now there are no layers. But if I press B, which is the brush, and then I click, I select a color, and then I start drawing, automatically it created a pixel layer for me. That's pretty cool, right? I like that. Sometimes in Photoshop, you click and then you cannot do that. You get and look, what the heck? Ah, it's because I don't have a layer. So that is really really cool, right? And then in here, I could draw. Let's pretend that this is the top of the mouth of Pac-Man, and then I would need to create another layer. So I'm gonna create another layer right here, add pixel layer, and this would be the bottom mouth, right? Now I have two layers. I have this layer and I have that layer. And that could be an animated prop, right? Affinity is much easier to use. Alrighty, alrighty. Yeah. For me, they are almost the same, just a little bit different. But definitely I have heard that from a lot of people. I've been using Photoshop for years and years. So for me it's second nature. But I can tell you, if any of you is using Photoshop and is considering not having to pay, and no, it's because I've used it for years, I would encourage you, if you're not making money from Photoshop or your designs, strongly recommend just get the trial, check it out. If it doesn't work, just go back to Photoshop, nothing changed. But hey, if it works, you could save a ton of money that you could use to buy ice cream to your loved ones or whatever you want to do with the extra money, right? So now let me go back in at the top here. I have this document, and then I'm gonna click on the next tab to go back to this and then analyze. Okay, so if I was to adjust this, instead of creating all that in here, I would just select these two, press, I believe it's press Control C, go here, Control V, there it is. Yeah, I need to press Control 0 and I need to resize this, right? So all I would do is this would be the top and this layer would go to instead of the board. So now I can delete the board and then delete the board top, but I also have to take the dummy board, this one, and then I need to put it in here. And then I need to take this and also put it there. So look at this. I have everything. I mean, imagine it's a really cool Pac-Man, not this crappy drawing. Now I'm going to, you know what, let me do a little coloring in here. I want to bring some justice to this. But this one needs to go on top of that layer. Hey, what the heck is going on? Right there on the top. This one will be below. Now, I like the lasso tool. Like you can kind of draw like this, and then I'm gonna fill it in with some yellowish. and more saturation, like around there. And then is it, yeah, but it needs to be painted in here. There you go. Uh, Let me show you what I pressed. I basically used the lasso tool. First, I need to create a layer below that one, right here, and then click and drag to until it's below that. But it needs to do. Oops. Wait a second. I need it inside. There you go. And then press L for the lasso tool. And then imagine this would be done with more care, right? Now, I need these two to be one single thing. So in here, I need to merge selected. There you go. And then I select those two, right click, merge selected. And now, if I save it, in theory, we should have everything ready in Cartoon Animator. So let me just go to Cartoon Animator. There you go. Yes. Now let's go back and then play the animation. Isn't that cool? Right? So instead of me breaking my head and thinking, oh, if I wanted a Pac-Man, that like how do I? Did you see how easy it was? Like I just get a prop that has everything that I need, my animation and everything, and then I just swap the images to what I want. That is such a time saver, right? By the way, this is one of the techniques in my training, the speed rigging course, right? Like you take things that are already done and then just swap things. So yeah, like look at that. And that's pretty cool, isn't it? Now, let's go and look at a character, right? Rigging a character. I'm going to select this, go to frame 0, and press delete. Now I'm going to press, yeah, we still have time. Woo! I go to content and then actor. And for this one, let's take one of the default characters, which is this one, for example. And Ariel, I'm gonna click and drag in here. So is this the idea to show us how to switch or show us how to animate the prop? Right now, I'm not teaching how to animate it. That requires more explanation. But Ali, if you're interested, just let us know, and then we can consider making a full webinar about it. Because I honestly need like 1 hour. I can give you something like a quick starter in 5 minutes, like a 5 minute tutorial, but I didn't plan for that. I can teach it to you in the Q&A. So if you're interested, drop that in the Q&A, and then I can give you a demonstration of how to animate props. All right? Okay. Now, if I wanted to know how this character works, then I can click on her and then click on this for to go to the composer mode, right? Okay, now that I have this, I'm going to click not opening it as a vector, the SVG. I'm going to open the PSD, right? This will open in Affinity Photo, which I already have open. Yes. Perfect. And there it is. First, let me close everything else. No. And then I'm going to take this and then also close this. Perfect. Now, this one, it is way more complicated. Okay. So if any of you like, first, can all of you who are below 5 in experience in rigging characters, actually below 4, right? Can you type, those of you who are, when I showed you the scale, can you go in and type the number like 1 to 4? Like I see a 4, a 3, a 5, a 3, a 0, a 2. Okay, yes, there's a lot of you here. So one thing that it's going to you're going to find really intimidating is the amount of detail the layer structure has, right? So for if I'm going to now ask another question, that's your experience, okay? So this is a new question: is how intimidated are you in rigging an original character. Okay. The first, let me show you. This is how it works. Like, okay, it's I can handle this, and then I open the hand, and then whoa, what is that? Oh my god, that's all the different hands. Whoa, that's a lot. And then I close that hand, and then I go to the forearm. Whew, the forearm is easy, perfect. And then the other hand, ooh, has a lot. What the heck is going on in there? And then wait, I'm gonna now open the image. What the heck? All the elements. The eye is one element, the other eye, and then I open the eye, and that one says center. Okay, I get it. And then I click here, and then what the heck? Inside the center, I have multiple different eyes. I have normal, smile, and all of that. Not only that, I open normal, and then what the heck? I have iris, eye white, and a mask. What the heck? And now those are groups, not even the pixel. Now I got to the pixel, right? So this is like one, two, three, four, 5 levels deep, right? So now this is the question: from 1 to 10, how intimidated are you in rigging an original character? 10 is you're very intimidated, and 1 is like piece of cake. Oh, I see. Like, oh my God, Zach. Oh my Zach, you have a 0. Like, yeah, you got this by the horns. But most of you, I see a lot of tens. Like, oh my God, this is very intimidating. 1, 6, and the 9, 5, 12. Probably you're having anxiety attack. Like, a 2, Helena. Oh, that's congratulations, Helena. Those of you who are like 1 to a 3, congratulations. You're really, really like. I'm imagining you have really good problem solving skills, right? Or a problem solving attribute. Like you see something, and instead of getting intimidated, probably you have a background in engineering or in coding, or you're just really good with puzzles, right? That's what I assume. Kathy, 100. That means you see that and you have a heart attack, right? 5, but very slow. Very good, Peggy. Hey, Peggy. Yeah, and by the way, Peggy, I think you're the one who has been on some of my trainings, right? It's probably that might not have helped. So, okay, a lot of you are intimidated. If that is the case, what I recommend is just get characters from the marketplace or from the content store and get every like you just saw like there's a sale that is going to happen, the like huge discount on the content store. That's if I was you, I would take those opportunities because I don't want to be rigging anything. And I have seen my students getting only minimal rigging skills where they, for example, they leave everything the same, but I'm going to now press V to select the move tool. And then here's something I never do. All right. This is, let me give you a world changing, like, hopefully it would blow your mind how easy this can be. I'm gonna close everything, right? I'm not even gonna look at the layers because it's like for me it's a headache, right? I don't even look at it. Instead, I select the move tool and then I just click on the torso. I don't have to know where that is. All I know is like there's a folder and there's a thing, a pixel in there. So instead, I go in, and oh, in here I'm pressing Control Space. Actually, it's like Control Space, and it's like in Photoshop. So awesome. So I can just select this, and then I can do a quick adjustment. I'm gonna press I to. Is this the eyedropper tool? No. What's the eyedropper tool? I'm gonna see if this Alt. Yes, perfect. So it's like I didn't know this, by the way. I just did what I do in Photoshop. I use the brush tool, press B, and then Alt. I'm holding Alt, and then I click on this arm, and then now I select that skin color, right? So in this case, gonna press Control Z, Alt, and then the shirt. Then I can erase this, right? And if I want, I can even change the design a little bit. And also I'm gonna change the type of brush. by clicking on more, and then I can change the hardness. I'm gonna use it, do 100%. Right now, I'm gonna do something ridiculous. Like, let's pretend that, ooh, it had like, imagine I'm doing this like more refined, right? But let's say that I'm adjusting this, changing the design, and then I use something that is like, again, the same yellow, but it's like, I don't know, like is the Mark Diaz team, right? And I have like a cool logo there. That's all I do. So, did you see? I'm not, guys, I'm not paying attention to any of this. All I did is find that freaking thing and then change it. And I painted over it. Now, if I have my own original character, what I would do is select maybe this layer and change it for mine. So let me just show you how that would look. Let's pretend that this is an incredibly, really cool torso. All of us know that it's not. And then let's pretend that, where's the field? This one. Oops. This one. There you go. Let's pretend that this is really cool, right? I'm just going to press Control C, go back to the previous tab, and then first I'm going to select the Move tool, make sure that I click on an empty space, and then click on this element, and then I'm going to press Control V. Now, again, just imagine that this looks really cool. All right. And what I would do is select that hip and I can delete it or I can leave it. Let's experiment. What would happen if I leave it there? I have those two, all right? Two different layers inside the same one. So now I'm going to press Control S to save it, and some changes are happening in Cartoon Animator, right? It's right there. What happened? Let's go. Hey, look at that. Nice. Not only that, but now if I press S for the sprites, right now I'm in composer mode. I need to go back. So I have my character. And if I press S and then click on, select the character, press S, you can see that now I have my team, MD Mark Diaz, or I can change it to this one. That is pretty cool, isn't it? So, those of you who were very intimidated, from 1 to 10, this approach, not paying attention to the folder structure, just getting something like a character you already have, and then just changing a couple of things, how confident or how confident do you feel from 1 to 10? A 5, awesome. Actually, tell me from where to where. Like, you were like, I went from 2 to 5, for example. Yeah, I'm more interested in that. Like, where were you initially and where are you? All right, that's a +2 from 0 to 2. From 4 to 7, that's really cool. From 1 to 4, from 1 to 5. Whoa, John, that's a huge increase in confidence. Okay, I'm so happy. That means this webinar is actually having an impact, guys. Kent, wow, from 1 to 6, it's more than half the whole scale. Peggy Bender, I mean, Peggy, you already knew a couple of techniques, so yeah, that's a +1. Wow, again, a big jump, 5 jump from 3 to 8, from 0 to 2, 7, okay, awesome. And then from 1 to 5, that is pretty cool. Okay, that makes me really, really happy. And then go you about actually, I'm learning a little bit of Chinese. I know the first character is Pu. Pu, maybe you don't understand, which is Puja, Pujidao, right? I believe that's in Chinese. So anyhow, uh, 1 to 10 as Akshay. That is so cool. Okay, so this is the, like, hopefully right now you have something like more confidence out of this webinar that you can apply. And now let's go back to the actual webinar. I wanted to have you have a little bit more confidence. Originally, I had planned to invest more time in the case study, but since a lot of you showed me that you have less than 5 confidence, I thought, "Nah, you know what? Let me give you guys something really powerful today." So now we're gonna study this case study from one of my students, but this is I want it full screen. The slideshow. Okay. But first, before we go into the case study, let me tell you something really important. This is, I want to talk about a beginner mistake. The core philosophy of everything I teach in my school at 2D Animation 101 is story first, complexity second. So, first, I actually ask all my students to have a really clear idea of the story they want to tell, not the animation. Like, hey, I want to do an animation, a guy who opens a door. Yeah, what are you trying to tell? No, I'm just want to do a test. I'm like, that's fine, but I believe it's way better to start exercising your storytelling stuff. So maybe it's like a guy running from, I don't know, like a killer, and then he's getting into opening a door and then closes himself to be in a safe spot or something like that. Like that adds for, in my head, is more exciting. It's the same exercise, but it's much more exciting. And if life gets in the way, which always happens, at least I'm more motivated to come back and keep learning because, oh yeah, because I want to do that scene and it's exciting. So I teach, make a compelling story first, and then save as much time as possible. The beginner mistake that I see from a lot of people is they want to do a Swiss knife character rig. What is a Swiss knife? Those are the type of rigs that you see from Gary Pie, from Revolution content, from all of those are so cool because they can do anything, right? But like they can do this, and then they have like the hands, and then they have all these expressions, everything is set up. Now for you to set up an original character like that, it can take so long, right? Yeah, Gary Pie, my best man. Yeah, he's a freaking genius. Oh, by the way, just for kicks, let me just show you, for those of you who are, who's this Gary Pie? Anyone here doesn't know who Gary Pie is? Like, I don't know. No idea. Perfect. Okay, some of you, no idea. I don't know. We know. Some Gary Pie is a legend. Okay, Gary Pie is one of, like, a bestseller in the content store. If you go to Revolution.com, and you go to Cartoon Animator, and then I go to the store and I go to the content store, I'm going to find a lot of characters from, like, that's Gary. A lot of them are by Gary Pie. That's Asus. Gary Pie. There it is. Do you see? Number 3 right here. Gary Pie. That's from Gary Pie. That's from Gary Pie. This is, I'm looking for kind of his style. Sometimes it's a little bit recognizable. But Gary Pie has been doing characters for a long time. And actually, let me go to his store. I just click on his name, and that's Gary Pie, right? And then product. Can I see there it is. So yeah, he has really cool characters. This one, like these extraterrestrial characters, and he does in many styles. He did me. That's me right there. Mark, right in the Toon folks. So you can get me right there. It was like an honorable thing. So let's see how one of his characters are structured in case you're doubting of how smart this guy is. I'm gonna get one of his characters. Let me go to human. And one of his characters is, I believe, I like this. This is from Gary Pie. Let me open it here. And I'm just so you can see, this is crazy. If you see one of the Swiss knife characters from Revolution and like, oh my god, they have so many hands, like, oh my god, you haven't seen uh, Mr. Gary Pie. I'm going to press select the character, open here, and then right now that character looks okay. It has a highlight here and a shadow on the other side. And once it's open there, like, by the way, it's taking longer than the other ones because this one is heavier. Now I press to open on PSD and then launch it, and then press OK. And then just look at this. Buying you, buying you now. I know you exist. Yep. And it's opening. It should be opening on Affinity. Sheesh. Which, by the way, probably I'm gonna need to close. I need to start closing stuff on Affinity. Nope, I don't want to save. Did it open? Let me launch it again. Press launch. Probably I press. This project contains. Ah, no, it's because it's a trial content. Alrighty. Which one do I actually have? Was it this one then? And okay, if not, I'm taking too much. Chungworian. Ah, I just read Chungworian Ma. Something like Gu Shu. You're asking if someone is Chinese, but I don't know that first character. I don't remember it. Okay, damn it. So, no, sorry, I cannot show you because I like it in here. I don't have this installed. So anyhow, let me go back to teaching this idea. All right. So now I want to show you this case study. And again, we have 5 minutes, but I'm going to just show you really quick. You can check all of this at your own time if you click to download the projects. Everything is prepared. Eric, really cool guy. He gave me permission to share this with all of you. And let's see his final animation, right? You can find it in the right here in the contest. He entered the contest and he got an honorable mention and got some exposure. Like he was on a magazine. They did a whole article on him. It's pretty cool. So now I'm going to play this, but first I need to optimize. I believe I need to stop sharing first and then share again so I can share with sound. Oh no, my sound is not available to share. Okay. Well, anyhow, I can give you the link then. Let me just provide the link in here and then you can check it out. Or maybe I can also, yeah, I can find the direct link in here. Yeah, sorry guys, I cannot play sound. I mean, if I play it, probably you hear it from the speakers, but not naturally from here. So I can check it here. Let's see it here without the sound. All right. So all of this was made by him. Like I want you to pay attention on this, how clear he had the story in his head, right? Like he only has the characters doing that, and then yeah, he's like, "Hey, did you water the plants this morning?" And then, "Oh, ma, grandma, I know he's the ma. No, ma." And then he's like, "Oh, he's so lazy. He doesn't want to do it." And then he looks at like some one idea, like there's this machine, and then I have an idea. Now the machine is no longer there. Then what's going on? Then boom, a robot is doing the watering for him. And hey, are you watering? Water on the grandpa, and then oh no, respect for the elders, and that's the end of the animation. So notice a couple of things. I'm going to open one of his files. And this is what you download project files from Eric. And I'm going to open this. You can see that this is an Affinity Photo file. He used Affinity Photo. Looks like he has some 3D in there. Yes, like he knows how to use, I believe it's Unreal or Unity or Unreal. I believe it's Unreal. And then he does the backgrounds, etc. And I can show you a shortcut that you can use if you don't know how to use 3D, right? For free without installing anything. But look, this character uh, I was uh, I was in the behind the scenes. He was developing all of this during my classes, and one of the things that he did is he created this in AI. Any one of you can create the characters in AI, and then look, the arms are not like super sophisticated rig. It's just like he just cut it down and just had this overlap. And then what about the legs? Yeah, like he doesn't need the character to do. Did you notice that the character didn't walk at all? Like you don't need that. Like depending on the story that you're doing, sometimes you don't need to show the like there's another thing. Beginners would say, hey, how can I have my character sitting down and then standing up? Like, why do you want to, like, yeah, you could do that, but did you notice that in his animation the character stood up, but we don't see that? Like, he's right there, he's sitting down, and then, oh, something, exactly, you cut to another shot, and then, what to do, what to do, and then cut, it's the next scene. Nobody who has ever seen this animation says, hey, wait a second, you're tricking me, aren't you? This guy didn't stand up. I didn't see that. Nobody cares. Like, all they care is the story. The story comes first, right? So yeah, that's what I recommend you do. And with that, we have let me just show you one more thing, and then we're done. This is his animation. All right. For any of you like, oh, I cannot do storyboards because I don't know how to draw. He actually did stuff in 3D. And for those of you who don't know how to use 3D, you can go to sketchfab.com. You can see it here. Let me zoom in. Sketchfab. Do you see it on the top? Sketchfab.com. And Alexa, stop. Okay. And in there, I can type, for example, let's type futuristic city. And then I can open a really cool city. Let's open, for example, this one. And I can just take screenshots and I can make that my, like, look, I can click and drag, right? Actually, this is like an atmospheric or surround. Let me take another one that is actually 3D, like this one. And then in there, like, this is 3D. I click and drag, and then I can move the lights. I just Alt. Let me show you what I'm pressing. Alt and then right click, right? And then click and drag, or I can scroll in and then change the angle. So that could be if I was doing a sci-fi thing, that screenshot, that's one background. And then screenshot, this is another background. Right? This could be a house or anything else. And the something even more advanced is using it in iClone, right? So yeah, like you can take use that, and then this is his storyboard. Very, very simple. For this, these were images from the internet, right? And then like very simple. I don't remember how he got these drawings. Probably it was AI or something from the internet, but it was very simple. You can see that this is on top, like this is not inside the chair. So it's just to get an idea. That changed the face. It doesn't matter. It's just visualization. And then from behind, you can see that he was erasing this, right? Like very sketchy. And then he sees that, and then the water is running in here. The robot is no longer there, and then the robot is there, right? That is the how any of you can tell a better story. But what you do need is having a good story to start with. All right. So that's it for today. At first, I'm so happy that all of you got a boost in your confidence, like extra 3 points of confidence. Some of you +5. That makes me so happy. This webinar is having an impact. Alrighty. So, Kai, I'm gonna need your help to start the Q&A while I prepare for the giveaway.
All good.
First of all, I'm going to ask for the enrollments. All right. How often do you do these webinars? Around once a month, usually once a month. So this, let's go back to the giveaways. I'm gonna close all of this, and I'm gonna go home. Alrighty. So the first one we're gonna give away is the Affinity, the universal license. All right. That's the first one. So first, I want you to type in the chat for Affinity Universal License, right? If you want to enroll, I'm gonna get all of you who are interested. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds, and I want you to type me. Just type this me, right? And that enrolls you. Alrighty, 10 seconds. me. And just make sure like you don't have to put your me twice. Three, two, one. And I'm gonna give a little bit more time, Mimi. Okay, perfect. I gave you 15 seconds. Awesome. So now I have the people who want to. I'm gonna close the enrollment. Now let's do. Who would like to have? This is if you don't have it. Cartoon, the license for Cartoon Animator 5. Wait a second. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Wait. It hasn't started yet. All of you who posted me before me posting this, boom, now it's open. Type me. I have the chronometer. That's for those of you who don't have a Cartoon Animator. Just type me and you could have it. One of you is going to have it. Then 4, 3, 2, 1, and then that's it. Okay, now we're going to do enrollments for the webinar webcam pro, not the webinar, the webcam profile. That is so you can control characters with your face using your webcam in Cartoon Animator. Not yet, not yet. Wait, not yet. Is the webcam profile. And type me for those of you who are interested in that. If you already have it, don't type anything, just so you can give a chance to everybody else. Then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it. Enrollment closed. Now, this one is an expensive one. This is one of my trainings. This would be for the rigging mastery. That one is, wait, not yet. No, don't type me yet. This is for the rigging mastery in Cartoon Animator. All right, that one is $500. And if you're ready, type, okay, right there, type me. Me. That's a lot of me's. And then this is one of you is gonna get it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it. Okay. Enrollment closed. Now this is for not yet. Wait a second. Wait a second. This is for speed rigging course. This is worth $300. All right. And enrollment starts right now. For those of you, I mean, and if you like, actually, yeah, like if you don't have that training with me, and then this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and enrollment closed. And finally, this is the cartoon animator. Not yet, don't type me yet. Cartoon animator 5, 6 in 1 bundle. This is a complete training to create your animated series, right? Oops. Not yet. Wait. And we start now. I'm so glad this is digital because if it was Walmart, everybody will be trampling over others like in Black Friday. Okay, and enrollment closed. Thank you very much, everybody. Now, Kai is gonna take a couple of Q&A while I prepare everything for the giveaway. Alrighty. Okay.
Right on, good to go. All right, everyone. So, like Mark said, he's going to start preparing the Wheel of Fortune there, and I'm going to do some Q&A, answer some questions for you guys. So, if you have any questions, please put your questions in the Q&A section in Zoom there, and we'll get to those right now. So, it looks like we already have a few. First one seems like a comment from Heather. Would like to see more on creating the animated props. Yeah, I think
Ah,
that's yeah. Animated props are super fun to use in Cartoon Animator, and
yeah. I promised that I could give a a 5-minute tutorial. So save that for when for after, like after the giveaway, I can give you a quick tutorial.
sure, yeah. Animated props, super fun to animate in Cartoon Animator. If you guys want to learn more about that stuff specifically, make sure you fill out the feedback form that we're going to send out to you, and give us your suggestions for future topics. We'd love to do, I know, more stuff on that. Ollie says animated props for sure, so it seems like a very popular topic. Um, Ash Akshay Kumar mentions here, how can we use AI features in Cartoon Animator 5? Akshay, we have a really good group, Cartoon Animator group on Facebook, and there's already people actually using AI. They're using their characters to train the AI, and they're doing like AI animations with their Cartoon Animator characters. It's really cool stuff. Um, we can, if you want to take a look on our Facebook, I'm not sure what it's called, Facebook. I can't remember. I don't use Facebook myself. So, Cartoon Animator Facebook group. Maybe someone else in the group or in the chat here has the link for it. Maybe. Feel free to put that up in the chat. Okay, a couple people do. Yep, right on. Heather's got it. Our Reillusion team has it. Check that out. There's a lot of cool stuff always being posted there. It's a very active group, and they're always posting really cool stuff. Recently, they've posted some stuff using AI, or animating their cartoon animator characters using AI, which is super fun. If you're more interested in AI as well, we have another tutorial tomorrow, or another webinar rather tomorrow, same time as today's webinar. That's 6 o'clock Pacific where I am here. That'll be on AI renders using the new plugin with iClone. So make sure you check on that if you're interested. We'll do a question from Brianna B. How important is naming the layers, folders, and subfolders? Brianna, it's very important to have the naming consistent to the templates that you're given within Cartoon Animator. If you're taking it, especially if you're taking it back and forth from Affinity or Photoshop into Cartoon Animator, you want to make sure that the naming of the folders specifically is exactly the same. Now you can have different, images that are additional images that you want for, like, Mark showed us replacing the skirt, for example, or replacing the torso. You can name those whatever you want. That'll just be in your sprite collection. But anything like the hands and especially the eyes that you need to be using with your characters, you want to keep that naming exactly the same as it is in the template characters. Otherwise, you'll have some issues importing stuff back and forth, and Cartoon Animator won't recognize it if the naming is different. Just a reminder to everyone, put your questions in the Q&A panel, not in the chat. I'll be answering from the Q&A panel for now. Um, so question from Ramon Fuentes. What advantages does Cartoon Animator have over Moho? I don't really use Moho, to be honest. So if anyone in the chat has some tips on why Cartoon Animator would have the advantage. I've just used Cartoon Animator all the time, so I don't have experience with Moho, unfortunately, but I can tell you I have a heck of a lot of fun animating in Cartoon Animator, and the learning curve is fairly not too bad. So, um, yeah, if anyone wants to add additional feedback to that, I don't know, Mark, you ever used Moho before?
I actually started with Moho before Cartoon Animator.
Oh, okay.
I think it's pretty cool for more advanced animation, but like not for beginners. Not for It's definitely much more advanced and harder to use than Cartoon Animator. Cartoon Animator, you get results in the first hour. Moho, you get results maybe in a couple of days of using it.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know. Good to get some actual feedback there. We got a question from Kent here. How do we remove the watermark for content in CTA that we already have a license for? Very good question, Kent. You can actually go up, I believe you can actually go up to the help files or the help menu, and there should be an option in the help menu to update licenses if you've purchased it within the software. I can load up Cartoon Animator really quick and check. Um, boom. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we have that option. So, um, just take me a second to load it up. I'll move on to the next question here. I can't roll. I'm waiting for that to load up. Actually, just load it up. Okay, so let me just share my screen real quick if I can, if I may. Zoop. There you go. Okay, so Kent, if you go up to help, You can this one here, activate purchased items or view unpurchased items. So if you're seeing a watermark in your screen, you can activate an entire library. If you purchase the item while you're actually using Cartoon Animator, then you want to select activate purchased items. And if you're wondering, hey, which item don't I have? Which item have I not purchased? You can select view unpurchased items, and that will appear there. So in the help menu, these three items here will be your friend for getting rid of watermarks. All right. George asks, what are your best tips in CTA for making fast-paced, cartoony animations feel dynamic and alive with snappy timing, playful energy, and effective camera spacing to enhance the action? That's a pretty loaded question. A lot of things you can do, George. Mark has a lot of good webinar material on, creating very dynamic animations in various different ways. There's no one way to really go about it. I find that the animated props are really good, like the freeform deformation, otherwise known as the FFD props, are really good. You can just really quickly throw those onto any prop and character. You can find them in the animation section here, animation category rather. You can see the FFD motions right here and elastic motions. These ones here are really, really fun to mess around with. If you just apply them to a prop or something, it'll just give it some kind of weird, you know, dynamic, like you said, playful animations. Um, yeah, I can, right off the bat, I can recommend those, the FFD motions right here and the elastic motions. Puppet Stage is also a lot of fun to mess around with. So make sure you check that out as well. That's a new feature you can find up here, a little puppet right there. But you have to have a character
Okay.
enabled or a prop. So yeah, hopefully that answered a little bit of your questions, George. Are we ready to do the giveaway, Mark? Or
I'm ready. Yes.
all right, let's do it.
Okay. Let me go to the wheel of names.
Oh, you want to share your screen as well?
Yeah. Ah,
Yeah.
yes. Can I think you need to
Stop
I
sharing.
clicked shared.
Oh yeah, I
And
can see your screen now. Yeah. Yeah.
awesome. So right now that's not the first. This is the giveaway for Affinity. All right. These are all the people that enrolled. Okay, so let's make this big and because it's not making the sounds. So and then this goes to
Ooh.
Mateo Rojas. All right. Congratulations, Mateo. I'm going to post this to the Revolution team. This is Affinity Universal 2. Perfect. Okay, you are in. Alrighty. So the the Revolution team or the Affinity, I don't know how this is going to proceed, but they will contact you. All right. Awesome. So now we're gonna do the next one, and that one I need the next list. This is for Cartoon Animator. In here, you have better chances of winning because it's less people, right? Then actually, I can see that if we get an empty entry, we're just going to roll it again. All right, because a lot of you already have Cartoon Animator, and that goes to Arve Nunez Rojas. Congratulations, we have a winner. So this is CTA 5. I'm posting it here just for the record. Awesome. I just took a screenshot. Perfect. Now we're gonna go to the next giveaway, which is the webcam profile. And let's go there. Oh, I see. It's because probably there's like, I don't know why it has that white space. Advanced, cancel results, shuffle. Okay, probably that. Yeah. Uh, I'm just gonna click here. Ready? This is for the webcam profile for one of you who don't have it. Ah, are you kidding? Okay. We have to roll it again.
That means I win.
So remove
Hooray.
some. There's some empty spaces. that means we have to roll it again. Yeah, that's a simple rule. And now we're gonna have a winner. Ah!
Oh, just when it.
Very like I imagine your heart is like "Ah!" for those of you who almost got it. This is for the webcam profile. So okay, Affinity, they just told me, the team just told me we are going to give away 2 of Affinity. All right. It's because thank you so much for to the team. I thought it was Affinity and then 2 because it was Affinity 2, but it's 2 licenses. So guess what? Some of you who already who wanted the Affinity Universal license, we're gonna give it away again. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. This is for webcam profile, and that was Steve. So let me go back to my list. Copy, remove, and then right here. Okay. And let's see. This is for the everybody who enrolled for Affinity Universal License. That goes to Mateo Rojas. No, I mean, Mateo, you already won.
Lucky guy.
So yeah, you actually. Oh, and that is insane. That's again the same thing. Let's do again.
Should go buy a lottery ticket, Mateo.
Mateo, you should go and buy a lottery ticket. And then this second one is goes to Rick Owens. So Affinity, this is Affinity 2. I'm posting it here for the record officially. Awesome. Brilliant. That's lovely. Now we given, no, this is for myself. So I'm gonna post this for this is you know what so for the team I'm still going to post it for you in here, but it's rigging mastery. I'm just telling you, the relation team, that I'm posting you in the chat, but it's for myself, just so I don't need to switch tabs. Okay, this is the rigging mastery. All right, rigging mastery, that's a $500 course. I'm gonna click shuffle and then go. Let's see. It goes to Monirul Islam. Congratulations, you got the rigging mastery. Okay, for this is you need to do something. Monirul, reach out to me at mds at to the animation 101.com saying that like if you can take a screenshot of this and then send it to my email. All right, you gotta do that. If not, I won't be able to give you access. Okay, so yep. Are you hearing the chat? Congrats. All right, I'm gonna move on, but if you need it again, Monirul, you need to reach out. Ah, perfect. Yes, awesome. So reach out to me, send me a like this screenshot, and I'll get everything sorted for you. All righty. Then the next one is speed rigging. So speed rigging, this one is this list. Perfect. Shuffle, and then go. And speed rigging goes to, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Let's see. Nobody. Okay, let me remove this, that blank space, and run it again. Ah. Yeah, I see some people having fun here. And then okay. In this case, okay, RV, you should go and get a lottery ticket. I don't repeat. I don't think it's fair. You already got Cartoon Animator 5. So sorry, you can only win one prize. All right. Yeah, it's fishy, right? I'm trying to click shuffle and then see. I'm gonna shuffle a couple more times, and then let's see. Another Cartoon Animator 5. So still, this is for speed rigging. This one goes to Lorne. Alrighty, Lorne Higginson. Alrighty. And then the last one is the Cartoon Animator 6-in-1 bundle. And That one needs a brand new, this one, copy, oops, copy, and then paste in here. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle a couple of times, and then boop. This is the last one. And this goes to, wow. Andrew, I bet you were biting your nail like maybe me, but Geoff. Okay, all right. Congratulations, Geoff. And that's about it. Thanks so much again, Lorne, Monirul, and Geoff. You have to claim that prize. You have to send an email to mdiaz at 2danimation101.com. Copy and paste that and send that email to me right now, and I can give you access right after this webinar finishes. All right? All right. And that's it.
Awesome.
Let's.
Congratulations to all the winners, guys. That's awesome. Good stuff. We had a couple of blanks.
Yeah. A couple of ghosts. That means there are ghosts among us.
Yeah.
So let me jump in and give like a 3-minute quick tutorial on how to create an animated prop. Shall
Sure,
we?
go for it. Yep.
Right. Like, I'm not going to go in depth. This requires like a full webinar on its own. If you're interested, guys, let us know so we have that into account and we create webinars that you actually want to see. So now I'm going to share my screen. No, not save the project. And let's say that I have one very specific animation. In this case, let me get the prop. Like for example, there's a ball in here. Ball. Okay, so I'm gonna take this ball, and then when I do the animation, I first need to animate it right here, and I'm going to do an animation in here and then save it. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm on frame 0, and then I press the space bar, and then I stop. The animation is going to be this, and then maybe rotating a little bit. That's gonna be the animation, right? Let me go back. That's the animation. Now, what I want is to save this as a animation clip inside this ball, right? Oh, wait. I think I messed up. I press Control Z because the animation should not be in the transform. It should be on this one, the prop key editor. That's the thing that I need to animate. This is very important. So first I'm gonna set a key right there and then play a little bit and then stop. And then now I move this and rotate a little bit. So this is the animation, right? That's an animated. It has to be from the prop key editor, which is down here. Let me close this. Is this button right there? Okay. Now I can go here. If I'm glad that you're here, Kai, because sometimes I forget stuff, and
Oh,
Kai here is the master.
I was just reading the comments. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in here, I would go to the end of this keyframe and then click on end frame, and then I can save that as let me close this, and then I go to custom, and I'm going to create a props is it, I know an animation, I believe. Is that how I do it? Motion, and it should be prop motion. This is the thing that I need to save as a prop motion, and then I save, and then I save test. I'm gonna save it as test. Okay, now I have it there, right? Now, if I want an image for that, I can set like a specific thing that I like, a specific image, right click, and then say capture thumbnail. There it is. Now it shows what I have on the screen. Perfect. Now, what I need to do is right click. I'm gonna remove object animation. So now if I play anything, it doesn't have anything. But I right click and then action menu editor. And in here, now I can take this. Oh no, is that how it works? Plus. Okay.
Yeah, you
I'm
have to
gonna
manually select it. Yeah.
okay, what the heck? So is from
You can just right click on the thing in the content manager and like open location, like open file location.
Ah, perfect. Beautiful. So in here is find
Find
file.
file, yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. So I click. Okay. So again, I right click action menu, action editor, and then plus, and then I just paste that address, and it was the one that says test. Perfect. Now I'm ready. This is a animation that I can like. Let me just. I need to save this also as. Let me save. I need to go to close animation, go to props. By the way, I'm going really fast, right? If any of you need like, hey, go slower. Again, this needs a whole hour where I can go really slow, but I want to cover other questions. So I click on props and then save, and this is anim ball. So now let's create a new project. I should be able to take this, right click, and I can click test, and it does that animation. And then I click again, and then boom, it happens again. Does that make sense? That could have been the thing closing, opening, and closing, or doing anything else. All right. So yeah, I tried to go as fast as possible. We still have half an hour. Let's do our best.
No worries. All right, we got a few more questions to get through here. First one off the bat is from Kevin. Is Cartoon Animator 5 only for Windows? Yes, it's only for Windows right now. So we've discontinued development with the Mac, so you're aware. Nehemiah asks, how do I get MP4s to play in Cartoon Animator 5? Generally with MP4s, you can just click and drag them in.
Yep.
You can right click and drag them in, and you have a few more options when you do that. But one thing that you need to keep in mind is make sure that all of your codecs are updated. Because sometimes if you have outdated codecs, then it may not work. And I've encountered that before, and I've just had to update my codecs. So for those of you who aren't aware, codecs are just like the kind of the video information files that your computer uses to translate the video files. I think that's a good explanation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean in Google I can type like just go download MP4 codecs for Windows, and then you will find a couple of options, install one, and then once you have it, then you can just click and drag your MP4.
Absolutely. All right. Another one from Kevin. Second to that, it would be difficult to combine Affinity Designer or Photo if I had them for Mac to create a pipeline. Yeah. Unfortunately, we just found that we want to focus our development more on just getting the PC versions as good as possible because it just the development for Mac was taking a lot of resources that we wanted to switch over. So, David Fleeson asks, "Hey David, do CC4 owners have a discount for upgrade to 5 with all the plugins? I tried asking for support, but they just told me to buy a new copy of CC4. So that would have been like, yeah, when you do that, because there's a really good deal on before you could buy a certain amount of content, I think it was, and you could actually get CC5 for free, the upgrade for free. I don't think they offer that anymore, but if you log into your account, David, anytime you log into your account, it'll give you that automatically apply that special upgrade price for CC5. So just make sure you're logged in, and they'll do all the calculations and give you your account. Tamar asks, are there any updates coming soon? We have a few more 3D things to get through before Cartoon Animator, but you'll see some Cartoon Animator stuff coming soon for sure. I can't tell you exactly when, just because we just launched CC5 yesterday, and we have some new iClone stuff coming up as well. But yeah, there's some CTA stuff coming later. Ali Mohammed says, how can we register for tomorrow's webinar? Yeah, Ali, you can just go to the webinar website, from the main page. I'll throw the link in the chat for you here. Whoops, what did I type? For anyone who wants to sign up for the webinar for tomorrow, this is LoRa training. So we're going to be doing batch renders with cartoon character creator. Where's my chat window here? There we go. You can sign up just there, just basically the way you signed up for today's webinar. All right. Akshay, any updates for CTI 5 coming or not? Yep, we're doing good to be doing that. Not this year, but there's going to be some small updates coming before the next version. So, Rick Owens, is there going to be an update for Mac users that would make CTI 5 available? Unfortunately, not, Rick. So, yeah, I know the Mac users aren't too impressed about that, but you can always simulate PC interface on your Mac and use it that way. It does work not bad. So DW asks, can you use your face expressions and talking and body gestures to control characters in
Oh,
Cartoon Animator?
yep.
Yes, you can. So Mark, we gave away the webcam profile.
Yeah.
So you can do facial motion capture with that, just using your webcam. It's really fun to do. And also, if you own a bodysuit like a Rococo or a Noitum or something like that, then you can also do with the body. So, I mean, the motion capture equipment for the body is a lot more expensive than cartoon animators. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Kiola. Does CC4 automatically update to CC5? Unfortunately, it doesn't automatically update. There is a small upgrade price that you'll have to pay. So, like I mentioned earlier, log into your account and get that updated, or the upgrade price rather. When you add it to your cart, it'll automatically give you the upgrade price. The reason for that is because we don't do subscription-based purchasing. So once you purchase it, you own it for life, basically. So, and our product cycles normally go about 3 or 4 years. So it's actually a pretty good deal if you take it within like the 3 or 4 year context. Zach Cupper, how to correctly structure my own character, which is only drawn from picture to vector. Very, very complicated question, Zach. We don't want to open a whole can of worms there. But Mark's webinar or course on the speed rigging that he just talked about is a really good learning resource for that. There's also a bunch of tutorials on the Relusion website you can check out. I'll throw a link to the chat here for you guys. This is also from the same learning center. So whenever you want to learn anything about character or cartoon animator, there's a bunch of tutorials here. I'll just throw in the chat for you. And they're all organized according to topic, so you can find the topic you want to learn about there. Okay, RB. Greetings. I'm a teacher. I'd like to create a road safety education project in cartoon animated for children aged 5 to 7. Cool. Is it possible? And what other programs can I use to create all the scenarios such as traffic signs, stoplights, etc.? You can do the entire thing in Cartoon Animator.
Yep.
If you have,
Actually, for
yeah,
this, there's a package for educators, like little animations for educators, where you can have like signs, and then the signs can have eyes and a mouth, and that was created specifically for people, for educators and teachers. So yeah, that's for educational content.
yeah, RB, I think maybe you'd want to take a look at the content store, and see if there's anything you could utilize there. I know for teachers, content is king. If you have the more content you have, the more fun stuff you can show your students and stuff. So I'll put a link to the content store as well. There you go. And we'll just do Cartoon Animator here since we're talking about Cartoon Animator. There you go, Arby. So you can use all your new stuff, your new software here. All right. That helps. A question from Pauline. This may not be the place, but why do I have to always uninstall the Relusion Hub and reinstall? That's a strange thing. Normally, you wouldn't have to do that, Pauline, but you do have to update it. The
Mm.
Relusion Hub needs to be updated, you know, occasionally. I had to do it yesterday with the new release of Character Creator and everything. So, yeah, you shouldn't have to. And if you do have to uninstall it and reinstall it, then I would recommend talking to our customer support team about that. But generally, you're just going to be having to update it. No worries there. Okay, so you said you did update it. So you may want to try and give a shout out to our customer support team, Pauline, if there's some weird, snafus going on there. Okay. Um, Question from DW. Where can I see some samples of different styles of characters possible with Cartoon Animator, for example, stylized characters? Also, DW, I just posted that link in the chat, the content store. I know earlier Mark showed some of Gary's content. Gary, like I said, like Mark said earlier, he's like a cartoon animator genius when it comes to creating characters. So, yeah, check out the stuff on the content store. And specifically, Gary Pie has some really good stuff. Okay, we have some Chinese here.
Yeah, actually,
Uh,
I use the Google Translator.
yeah,
It's when will there be a new version of Cartoon Animator 5?
yeah. So that's the same question we had earlier.
Yeah.
Uh, Again, it'll be not this year, so I can confirm that, but we will have updates, but just not CTA 6, for example. Um, Anonymous mentions maybe, oh, it was canceled.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I answered on text.
Oh yeah, no, we talked about it. Yeah, no worries. So Kathy asks a good question. What kind of 3D items can you use with Cartoon Animator 5? There's a few cool things. You can actually apply 3D animations from iClone to your 2D characters in Cartoon Animator with varying results. You know, it's not a magic application that's going to work for every character, but you can also do editing and stuff like that, which makes it really fun. I'm not sure, Mark, in your workflow, do you ever use much 3D stuff to the Cartoon Animator?
Not honestly, for my projects, never. I have only used it when they asked me in here on a webinar, like, hey, combining and also students. So it's more like my students use it, so I learn just to help them. But usually
Mhm.
no. Honestly, I don't have much experience.
Okay. I've used it in the past, to for some decent results, but it hasn't been for a long time. Like I said, it can be pretty hit and miss. So apply them at your own risk. And the last one,
This one says, what should I do if the link sent by the teacher cannot be accessed from the external network? I don't know. By the way,
maybe China
Gu
as the
Shu,
wolf.
could you please go take the time to go to Google Translate? Is because we don't. I'm learning Chinese, but I don't know. I'm not fluent yet. I just started, and it's because of my friends at Revolution in Taiwan, and I have more friends in Taiwan. My but we don't know. So can you please take that, drop it into Google Translate, and then drop it in English? Thank you. So yeah, the CTA support vector.
This question from Kent there. Yes, we support vector graphics for sure. There's a vector workflow that I think we just, didn't we do a webinar on that a few months ago? Like vector characters.
I do myself. I don't remember. I don't
Okay.
honestly. I don't like if anyone does vectors. That would be Gary Pye, and he usually uses Coral Draw. But
Yeah.
I don't like vectors. For me, it's too complicated. I leave that for super smart people like Gary.
All right, we got another question here from Brianna. To clarify the earlier question, if I use the human dummy template, can I change the names of the main layers like the head or right arm? No, you keep the names the same. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want to
for the
change
template to
those.
work.
Yeah, good question. All right, looks like we're done. Not too
Yeah,
bad.
we did it.
Awesome. Yeah. Good stuff. So hopefully everyone here learned a lot. And thanks so much to Mark for we'll do one more here from George, I guess. Is there any way to remove from animations with forward movement the positioning? Yes. That's Mark showed
Just edit
earlier.
the keyframes.
Yeah, Mark showed earlier using the prop layer editor. You can just delete the keyframes. You can also do the same thing using the transform keyframes. Just delete the second keyframe and your prop will remain stationary.
Yeah, and also you can in the workspace right click and there's an option that says remove animation and then it removes everything that was animated for that.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. And then I'll just remove everything. So just be aware of that. Cool. All right. Good stuff,
Alrighty.
guys. And congratulations to all the winners. And congratulations for everyone for staying with us here and learning a lot. Thanks so much, Mark, again for being with us and teaching us all about Affinity Designer and the character customization there. Anything you want to sign off with?
I'm all good. See you guys. I see like Kathy. I love this webinar. Look forward for more in the future. I'll hope to read you here. See you there. See you guys in the next webinar. Alrighty.
Yep. Looking
Take
forward to
care.
it, guys. So, like, again, make sure you guys fill out the survey form, get that 10% discount for the content store. You can check, we'll send you guys the live link, not the live link, the YouTube link later on so you can review this at your own time, on your own time. And yeah, so I'll just say good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you guys, wherever you are in the world. Adios, Mark, and good evening to you. Buenos
Adios.
noches, I guess.
Yes.
All
All right.
right. So we'll
Alrighty.
sign
Take
off
care,
now, guys.
everybody. Bye
Thanks,
bye.
guys. Have a good one.
再见.